NBA fans, what's good? You're now rocking with the best. Ro Parrish here in the warm-up, driven by Ford, along with two basketball professionals with over 25 years of professional experience. That's Dennis Scott and Sam Mitchell running with me. But before we get started, we take a serious turn. So Thursday night, we received news that former Commissioner David Stern suffered a brain hemorrhage at a restaurant in New York. He was rushed to a hospital for an emergency surgery, and we're still awaiting further updates on his condition. We here at NBA TV, along with the entire NBA family, wish for a speedy recovery for Commissioner Stern, and we send our best to his wife, Diane, and his entire family. Now back to basketball. Was it load management or not? First DNP of the season for the Greek Freak. The Bucks still got the dub, 16 in a row. He is questionable tonight with that quad injury. They battled in the grindhouse against the Grizz. James Harden coming off that 55-point game in Cleveland. What will he do tonight? We're going to talk about that shortly. He's on a tear. And King James returning to South Beach. Him and Anthony Davis are behind James Harden and Russell Westbrook in tandem scoring. They're both giving you a combined 53 points per game. And this is the matchup that we've all been waiting for all week. It's like the unstoppable force against the immovable object. The Lakers have won 12 straight on the road. They got the Miami Heat, who've won 11 in a row at home. So something has to give tonight. So before we get things started, we got to go to South Beach. Joining us right now, Tanya Ganguly from the LA Times. Now, we're more of a quarter of the way through the season. The Lakers playing their best basketball. This is a question that I posed behind the scenes, but I want to pose it to you. Is this a situation to where the Lakers might be peaking just a little bit too early, or is this the perfect time they want to start playing this type of basketball?
I don't know. You know, it's interesting to ask that question because I think the Lakers would look at the way that they've won some of these games and say they could be a lot better. And so you have to wonder, when you're winning so often, does that make it harder for a team to learn from their mistakes and to get better? That's a question that we keep asking the Lakers. And, you know, the thing is, they just keep winning. So there are, every once in a while, the losses that they've had. And when they lost to the Dallas Mavericks, they got killed on rebounds, and they really went to work and tried to fix that after that and have been great with that since. So I'll be interested to see if they can continue to get better even as they're winning throughout the season.
Yeah, I wasn't concerned about that rebound against the Dallas Mavericks. My thing is, when LeBron James goes to the bench, we know Rondo can facilitate running the offense, but I still don't see a consistent, smooth play when LeBron's not on the floor. Is that something to be concerned about?
I mean, I think that's something they're definitely working through. Rondo has been really important to that. And, you know, Frank Vogel talked a little bit today about how when Rondo and LeBron were on the floor together last year, the numbers weren't great. And he tried to sort of figure out why that was happening and improve on what the Lakers were doing last year so that those two guys could be on the floor together sometimes and could take some pressure off of each other. I think that that's the main thing. They're asking LeBron to be their point guard, but they also want to make sure that he's not being overused in that role.
Tanya, Sam Mitchell here. I don't really have a question for you because the Lakers the best team in the league, LeBron James the MVP candidate in the league. I don't know what to say other than to your last point. Is Frank Vogel, I've heard him mention before that he may be a little concerned with some of the minutes LeBron and AD having to play this early in the season. But other than that, what do you say about a team that's 22-3 and got the best defensive team in the league and they're the Los Angeles Lakers?
I know. It's such a change for me because I've covered this. This is my fourth season covering this team, and I covered really bad teams early on. But yeah, you know, I think Frank Vogel would like to rest LeBron and AD a little bit more than he does, but those two guys just want to play all the time. They are not interested in load management. They are not interested in you know, sitting when it's important for them to be in the game. And there will be nights where they'll get around 40 minutes, and I think he would like to have them play less. But you know, we asked LeBron about that a few weeks ago, and his response was kind of, I want to live in the moment. Why would I preserve myself for later when it's important I can play now?
So, of course, Sunday is December 15th. We know that's the first day that a lot of players will be eligible to be traded. Now, is there any chance the Lakers will be making any moves? There's been discussions about maybe they need some help on the perimeter. Have you heard any whispers about them maybe acquiring any players outside of the current organization?
It's always possible. I think that they're interested in sort of seeing how this group goes forward. But, you know, there was talk of there's been talk of different guys. I think that they really like how things are shaping up right now, though, and they'd like to see how this group does and how it continues to gel.
Well, indeed, we're going to check it out tonight, see if that winning streak can continue to that lucky number 13 number. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you soon.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
So the Los Angeles Lakers, of course, it's Friday the 13th, just in case we didn't mention that. They're looking.
What does that mean?
Well, you know,
Just some superstition.
Oh, the soft therapy?
Yes.
Whatever.
Listen, Sam is too chill to be scared by anything. He's too
Man,
cool.
what am I going to be afraid of, a day?
But I want to address something. The trade deadline, you said December 15th.
December 15th, the first day, yeah.
My question, Sam, is who do the Lakers have that have some value, and do they have any draft picks because of the New Orleans trade they made?
They don't seem to have any assets available.
So I think
The Lakers
that's their
kinda
problem.
tapped out.
They're kind of tapped out. So it's like, can you go to the bench, or is there someone else on someone else's bench that we've seen before that you maybe can swap that has a different skill set to help you win? But as far as bringing in another dynamic name to kind of help this team, you already have Anthony Davis and LeBron, you have Dwight Howard, you have Kuzma. I don't see another dynamic name coming in to help.
And
out
everybody
the team.
needs shooting.
Right.
I don't care
Yeah.
what team you're, good or bad. Everybody wants more shooting. So no one's just going to give you a J.J. Redick or a guy of that
Great
quality.
Call. Great call.
So I think if you're the Lakers, they're going to stand pat, man. You got the best record in the NBA.
Well,
what
I
else
mean,
do you need?
Sometimes the rich want to get richer. You still have
That's true.
Always.
You
That's
still
true.
have-
Good point.
Hold up.
Good
You
point.
still-
What
you still
country you living in?
We're talking about the Los Angeles Lakers here. They have a high
Again,
standard.
what country you living in? The rich want to get richer.
But Boogie Cousins is still occupying a spot. We're not sure what's going to happen with him. Maybe there's a chance they move on from Boogie, potentially waive him, maybe bring in another player. We've heard whispers. You talk about a J.J. Redick, maybe an Andre Iguodala, somebody else that's a veteran that could help that team.
Yeah, I think, if Andre Iguodala gets bought out, I could possibly see the Lakers want him because Andre Iguodala is a playoff player.
Yes.
He only needs to play about the last 25 games of the regular season to get in shape. But Andre Iguodala, if you're a team that needs him for the long haul, he's not your guy.
No, that's a great point, Sam, because as much as we love Iggy, Rowe, is that Iggy is a playoff player where normally you would say, how can Iggy, LeBron, and Rondo, how can all three of those guys be on the floor at the same time, right? Doesn't fit. But when the playoffs, who's going to make shots, right? Because if Iggy's handling and then LeBron's handling, well, we're going to suck up in the lane because we know they're not going to be three-point shooters. But the intangibles that Iggy brings to the table in the playoffs can help out in spots moments. So you still need the Kuzmas of the world to still play high-level basketball until the playoffs get here.
You mentioned Kyle Kuzma. He's out tonight. But let's talk about the team in South Beach, talking about the Miami Heat. The best start that they've ever had.
You get so excited when you say South Beach, like you've been there and hung out for a long time. Let's talk about the team in South Beach.
Let me just say this. Let me shout out to everybody in the 305. South Beach is
oh my goodness.
It's a wonderful place to visit.
Dude, look how his face lit up.
It's a wonderful place to visit, but let's get back to business. The Miami Heat, 11-0 at home, the best start in franchise history. They're winning these games by 15 points. That is the biggest margin in the NBA when it comes to winning at home. Very impressive. Jimmy Butler, you can make the argument, the best offseason acquisition. You can maybe make that. Just saying, just going to put it out there. And then you have the player development, all the undrafted rookies they have. How impressed are you with the Miami Heat so far this season, sitting in the 2 seed?
Ro, that's a bigger story, the player development. To know that Coach Spoelstra and his staff have gone out and found the nuns, the heroes. See, like the heroes, the other guys we've seen play in college a little bit, but none, we know he had a few issues. Unless you're from Chicago, unless you knew high school basketball, you may have never heard of this kid before. So that's why I lean more towards the player development what the Miami Heat have done to go out and find these guys and bring them in and have them go right to work. We know Deion Waiters has had some issues. We know Johnson had some issues. So they say, how does a culture be tainted? Well, it doesn't, because they remove the issues, they plug players, they want to play the right way, and that's why they're successful.
Coach, how much credit does the Heat, the Miami Mafia, and I say that affectionately, how much credit do they deserve constructing this team?
A ton. Look, when you look at this roster before Jimmy Butler was added, people were laughing, saying, how are they going to win a game? Yeah. And I remember saying this, and I apologize, man. When Jimmy Butler signed, I said, well, where are the Jones to go with him?
Yeah.
Okay, I said that, but guess what? Little did I know, Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra, man, they have a factory down there based on what 3D said, developing players. And this is another thing they do. When they draft guys, they draft players with the right mentality to fit the Miami Heat culture. Yep. And let's give Jimmy Butler credit. Jimmy Butler was a nomad in this league. He was searching for a team. And he kept searching until he found Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra, and the Miami Heat. And it is a match made in heaven because when you look at how they play defense and how they play together, this team, man, who would want to play them 3D in the first or second round of the playoffs? Now, I'm going to say this. We better put it out there. Jimmy Butler is the MVP candidate.
Oh, no question.
No one had the Miami Heat sitting there at 2 with this roster the way it's currently constructed. So, Eric Spoelstra, early favorite, Coach of the Year, Jimmy Butler, got to be thrown in there for the MVP. And then when you look at how this team competes, look, the Lakers, should they win this game, the Lakers got more talent from top to bottom. But the intangibles, playing hard, knowing your role, and doing whatever it takes to grind out and win a game, that's the Miami Heat.
And don't forget about that South Beach, too. It's a very important home
court
court
South
advantage.
Beach undefeated now.
Of course.
You mean that South Beach flu?
Yeah, I know all about that. Listen, right here, I'm sitting here asking these questions to these outstanding gentlemen, but you have the opportunity to ask the analysts. Go ahead and jump on social media. We're going to pick the absolute best questions, and we will air those later on.
Good stuff last week.
So go ahead and get them questions ready. Hit them up. Hit them up. Ben Simmons, what's popping? Getting those shots up. The Pelicans not playing so good. Let me tell you this, though. Zion has appeared at practice, and it is December.
Well, he's been walking around.
He's been walking around. Will he be back tonight? Not so much, but Ben Simmons will be there. Check that out on League Pass.